From the center of the galaxy, this is ForceCenter, a show about Star Wars pop culture, the old adventure, life itself. And today, Rankin thinks it's a special edition of Star Wars Rank. Joseph is out this week, working hard on his movie, so Jennifer Landa's here, and we're going to have fun ranking something that I'm not even sure we know how to describe, Jen.
How do we describe it? It is our favorite non-canon Star Wars things. What does that mean? Whatever we want.
Whatever we want. Yes, because this isn't a ranking our favorite Star Wars legends, like stories and characters. Maybe we do that at one point in time, but as we've said many times in many years here, we're all three not giant legends fans or even experts enough to pull. It would just be a lot of Talon Card, Mara Jade, Thrawn quotes, for me. So this is beyond that. It might have some things that are considered legends. It's sometimes crossovers, promotions, Star Wars inspired things, but I kind of look at these things as where it isn't just, say, Carrie Fisher going on a news show to promote Force Awakens, that famous bit of, and Gary's there asleep. That's one of my favorite Star Wars things ever. Yeah. We should do a Star Wars Rank promotions episode at one point. This is kind of a weird crossover where a character appears in something else, an actor playing a Star Wars character appears in something else. Like Jen said, it's all over the place. So, Jen, are you ready to crate as we go?
Buckle up, baby. Where was that from? I feel like that was the first one. I don't know.
Hold on to your butts.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, we're working our way 10-1. We're going to alternate. Now, normally, there's a little bit of not a competition, but a fun game of throwing surprises out there. And, so I don't know all of Jen's list. She doesn't know my order, but we had to kind of huddle like a football team before this and figure out, are we playing with the same things here? And we are. So I'm going to go first with number 10. It's a recent addition to the list, Jen, but I thought about it, and it might have inspired the list. My number 10 choice for my favorite non-canon Star Wars thing is Jabba the Hutt listening to Ray Charles in that Techniques commercial that we just discovered for ourselves recently. And I'll drop the link for you all to watch the short that Jen and I did a accidental live reaction to on a Star Wars episode recently. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. It's Jabba. It's not like the performers, the puppeteers inside Jabba. It's not. It's Jabba the character grooving and then becoming so emotionally overwhelmed he cries to the music of Ray Charles, all for a Japanese commercial for the company Technics. Technics is, I think, how you say it. Jen, that's it. That could be the list. That's my favorite thing. Jabba crying and grooving.
This is, I think, the perfect representation of non-canon. And I would say even slightly out of character for Jabba. I cannot imagine. Well, you know what? I take it back. I could imagine him getting so overwhelmed listening to music. I'm envisioning, though, he's had some sort of, wine or something, and he's a little bit in his cups, and he listens to Ray Charles, and he loses it. Becomes overwhelmed with emotion.
Maybe this is post-Rada, being kidnapped. He's in a tough spot. Or maybe he's just feeling a little down about the life he's led. A wonderful empire that he's built for himself. I'm talking about the empire, but Jabba's empire. And he's like, I don't know, did I earn it in the right way? Let me see what Ray Charles has to say about it.
I love it. I feel like we could have a whole separate episode about like the best Star Wars commercials and weird brand tie-ins like that. But it looks like we already have one on our list. Do you have more?
No, not necessarily. But I think you're right. I think I'd have to jog my memory. But there's definitely some. I have a friend who was in a Phantom Menace era commercial, like for Doritos or something, with Jar Jar in it. So we could do that. We could do that. But kicking off the list here, Jabba. The character, it's portrayed as Jabba crying, showing emotion to Ray Charles. But Jen, we're just getting started. What's your number 9 here?
I'm going to have to reorganize
Number 9.
This does not fit next to Jabba. Crying.
Look, this list doesn't fit with itself, Jen.
Okay, I got it. This is a good one because it's just, it's weird. So I believe it was 1977. The band Mecco released the Star Wars disco theme. I love it so much. I've listened to it countless times. It's the disco remix of John Williams' score. And it actually became, I believe, on the charts. I think it got on the charts at one point.
I think so.
Yeah. And it goes all over the place, and it's like almost sounds a little bit disco, but polka. It's a lot of
Yeah.
fun. You put it on, you automatically have a party. And I feel like that kind of fits in line with Jabba.
Yeah,
Listening to
actually
Ray
it does.
Charles.
It does. Here it is. Here it is. It reached number 1, Jen, on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in the U.S. in 1977. It held the top position for 2 weeks. That's how much Star Wars fever was raging in 1977. This disco theme hit number 1.
Oh my gosh. I can see why. And if you watch any documentary about that time period, they always play it. They always, because it really does
Yes.
encapsulate the fever, right, around Star Wars and like the excitement, and it was a height of disco and Studio 54 and there's C-3PO doing, the robot. It's just so much fun.
Mick Jagger's always said, I don't think it was just one interview, but he said, hey, look, the Beatles broke up. We don't know what the Beatles disco album would have been because the Stones kind of lead into it, which I think it's a viable genre of music. But Star Wars, we know. It leaned right in here with Mecco. I think this is great. This is a great option. This is exactly what we're thinking here. It's weird Star Wars. You love weird Star Wars things. You got the Jedi Beat episode where you took a deep dive in some of the weirder corners of Star Wars.
Yeah, I do love it. And that's why this list, I'm already loving the way this is shaping up. This is great.
All right. Well, my number 8 here as we roll through, I'm going to adjust on the fly and I'm going to keep it in the realm of music. Okay. And it's non-canonical, but it's definitely characters doing Star Wars things as it's not an actor. It's portrayed as C-3PO and R2-D2. And Jen, of course, I'm talking about the 1980 album Christmas in the Stars, the Star Wars Christmas album.
Oh, wow.
My favorite on there, Bells, Bells, Bells. And also, what do you get a Wookiee for Christmas when he already has a comb? I think like 11 or 12 tracks. It's Anthony Daniels just show tuning the hell out of these songs. And it's still in that era where Star Wars fever's big. Empire has been out. If this got released in 1980, so we're post the summer of Empire, and people want Star Wars, Jen. They want Star Wars, and they're going to take it any way they can get it. Because, there wasn't the comic. Well, there was comics, but there wasn't a whole bunch of books. Legends hadn't exploded yet. We didn't know about streaming shows, nothing. We just wanted Star Wars. And if it was a disco tune or Anthony Daniels singing Bells, 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 you got your Star Wars fix. The Christmas season of 1980 was a wash. Enjoyed singing. I love it.
I must admit, this is like kind of an area that I don't really tread in very much, this album. And I'm surprised. I'm surprised that I have not put it on for the holidays, or I don't encounter it as often. So, do you put this on during the holidays?
I have the LP. It's from 1980.
No.
I stole it from the radio station I worked at. It was just in the production studio. And I think it has like a little hole puncher in it because it just was taken or given from a record company, which what you would do, so you couldn't resell it. Oh. And I was there for about 2 years. I was there 4 years, but about 2 years in, there was a regime change. And I was in the production studio one day late at night, and I was like, no one's going to know if this is gone. And I just yoinked it. And every once in a while, I'll put it on. Here's the track list, okay? Christmas in the Stars. What can you get a Wookiee for Christmas when he already has a comb? Is the here's the actual track. Christmas in the Stars. Bells, Bells, Bells. The Odds Against Christmas.
What?
Never tell 3PO the odds. What can you get a Wookiee for Christmas when he already owns a comb? R2-D2, We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Sleigh Ride, Merry Merry Christmas. A Christmas Sighting, parentheses, 'twas the night before Christmas, and then the meaning of Christmas. Now, there is a couple things on here. One of the people singing on this, and in fact, it's the lead vocals, according to what I'm reading, but I didn't know that. I knew he was on the album. Is John Bon Jovi, aka John Bon Jovi.
What? Wait a minute. This needs to get more love because
his cousin Tony co-produced the album and brought in John to sing and perform on the album. One of his early credits. It was produced by Mecco as well. It's the connection there.
No, it was not. Wait, what?
It was.
Really?
It was.
This
Album's produced by Mecco Monardo.
I am so sad that I have not been more aware of this. Like, what the heck?
And it was a hit. It was a hit because the first printing was 150,000 copies. I'm just reading here from the internet there. Mecca was asked to include George Lucas's name credited beside his under concept by. So George has a concept by credit here. And it was so successful they had to do a second printing. This is what people wanted, Jen. They wanted C-3PO singing Star Wars songs.
I really hope that the Lucas Narrative Museum of Art does like holiday decorations. And I hope that they pump that album through the halls of their museum. Really set the tone.
Here's what I think they should do at the Lucas Museum holiday party. Anthony Daniels should come out to do some songs, and John Bon Jovi should come out to do his big song.
That's a variety show waiting to happen.
Hey. Oh, there you go. All right, there you go.
I love that.
Check it out. Maybe I'll have a holiday party this year if I'm still in my house, Jed, and we'll I'll just invite everyone over and I'll just play that record. We could all groove to it. That's my number 8 choice. We're rolling. We got your number 7.
That's really good. How do I top that one? Well, I'm gonna try with this. Okay, this is a ride that opened at Disneyland in California in 1987. It was the first Disney attraction to be based on a non-Disney property, I think, which was obviously long before the Lucasfilm acquisition in 2012. That ride is Star Tours. I did not know this. The day that it opened, the ride was such a hit that Disneyland stayed open for 60 hours. They did a 60-hour marathon because the lines were so long and the hype was so real. Can you imagine?
I can imagine. I was not there opening weekend, but I was there probably in the first couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember early on. Yeah.
And do you know what else I forgot? Was the original storyline. Did you remember the original storyline? It's like, what is it?
Yeah.
You go to Endor and you join the forces with the rebels.
The rebels, you got Rex, right? Pilot in it, Paul Rubens, and then you land, right? You crash land back on the ship.
Yes.
I mean, I know the story overall, but I'm trying to remember, early on, it was slightly different.
Yeah. And when I was reading that, I'm like, oh, I actually kind of missed that. I like everything that they're doing. It's cool. I for some reason I keep getting the Ahsoka storyline and like with the Purgles and stuff like that, which is fun.
Oh, I haven't got that. Okay.
Yeah, it's fun, but I personally would rather go back to Endor. I don't know if they still have that cycling through it.
It's been a few years since I've been to the park, but this is great for the list. It's perfect because this is exactly what I mean. Like as a youngster, I knew this. Well, I knew I didn't spend time wondering about canon versus non-canon, but to me in my head, this was real. Like I knew the story on the screen was a little different than the movies. I knew it didn't connect it. I knew all that. I was old enough to know that. But in my daydreamy head, I thought, well, what if this ship, this little Star Tours ship, was actually in the Battle of Endor? What if it was? And I would play that out in my head. So that's exactly it. It's a non-canon story that felt like canon to a young brain. That's why I love this. And, it didn't make me sick back then. Now it makes me sick.
I know what happened. Me too. It was weird.
Yeah. And the last time I was on it, probably 2009, not even 2020, probably before that, I remember coming on ForceCenter, love all the additions. You know, you had John Boyega's Finn, all the stuff. But I just remember that was by then I was like, that can't be canon. Like it's like not even fake canon. I just was too lost in my head about it. But a great choice. Great choice.
Oh, yeah. That was Star Wars back then for me. I was like, oh, this is the only Star Wars we're getting right now.
Yeah, see, yeah, no, you're right. There was something to that as well. That's probably why I got pulled in the story. Like, again, not contrasting, comparing. We're in a bountiful time. It's still a great time to be a Star Wars fan. But back then, this was the new thing. This is what George was putting his energy into. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the safety video before?
Yes. Where they have their what is it? The aliens. I think there's even Teek's feet.
I think there was a Teek. Yeah.
Or shown. Yeah.
You got Ewoks in there. So put your purses underneath the seats and don't forget them.
I love it. Now that's immersive, in my opinion.
Yes, it absolutely is. That is great. All right, that is number 7, Star Tours. All right, my number 6 is going to be one that I got to admit, I haven't watched in years, but I do really love it, and it was in a different time for Star Wars fans and even me as a Star Wars fan. So whether or not I still find all of it funny, I don't know. Maybe it's on me to have a little bit of a lighter touch with my Star Wars. I get so intense sometimes because of the wars we've been fighting for the last 10 years as Star Wars fans. But it's the Robot Chicken Star Wars stuff. I absolutely do love it. And I don't, like I said, I don't have every joke memorized. It's been years, but it just their version of Palpatine, the ordering a sandwich, Millennium, whatnot, like all that stuff, the kind of everyday humor, really, really worked for me back then. It still kind of works for me now. I still enjoy that kind of parody. And even here on ForceCenter, sometimes we joke around, like Ken Plume and I were joking last week on the action figures is why we love Star Wars. We went down the tangent of, when the curtain came back and Jabba and all the denizens of the court are watching Han and Leia. Like, that's a historic moment, but like, how did they do that? Did they plan that? And so that's like where Robot Chicken's humor would come in, where it would be like Bib Fortuna going, everyone, shh, we got to get behind the curtain. Get over there now. We think Leia's going to, like, that's the kind of stuff that I think Robot Chicken would have fun with in a simpler time that was also at times maybe, not saying Robot Chicken, but, our jokes were a little heavy-handed at times. Maybe that's what I'm reacting to now. But Robot Chicken still remains one of my favorite things. It was Star Wars fans having fun with something they loved.
100%. And Robot Chicken walked so Lego Star Wars could run. You have the same type of humor, right? I mean, it's obviously a little bit more kid-friendly and not quite as irreverent, but I think the reason why Lego Star Wars is so successful is because people like that. It's almost like you're getting a behind-the-scenes look at these characters that you love, like their daily life and their daily struggles, and things are not always great, right? Even though you may be the evil Sith Lord of the galaxy, you might be having a bad day. It's just funny and silly. I can't imagine Robot Chicken existing now. They can't. They never went through the Star Wars detours, which I really liked, and that seemed really funny. But yeah, now we have Lego Star Wars.
Lego Star Wars scratches that itch a bit, and it's definitely maybe aimed a little younger, obviously. But like Detours is a great example, and we never really got to see that in full, but a great example of even George himself. Like George understands. George has humor about it. George, we're not doing our favorite Star Wars parodies. Some of the things we'll talk about today might end up on a parody list, Robot Chicken included, excuse me. But like George loved Hardware Wars in the 70s, which was the first big Star Wars parody. So I think sometimes even because I get so defensive of the franchise because everyone online is going to bash it and all those things I've been through, you've been through, Joseph's been through. Sometimes it's just fun to laugh. And Palpatine ordering a sandwich is part of that.
I love that. Palpatine ordering a sandwich.
All right. But now,
funny. Oh boy.
We're up to your number 5. The pressure is on.
I'm going in a completely I just gave it away. I'm going in a completely different direction, and one that is not really near and dear to my heart, but it must be recognized because there is such a passionate community around this thing and around gaming in general, and one that I look at and I admire. I sometimes dabble in it, right? This I have never really dabbled in. I've learned a little bit about it. But it is the Knights of the Old Republic. And the
Oh,
reason I am putting it on this
big.
list, even though I am like, it's like not my thing, is I'm really, time and again, it's always brought up as being groundbreaking, right? It
Mm-hmm.
took place 4,000 years before our Star Wars. And it gave fans a new appreciation for the Jedi and the Sith, right?
Mm-hmm.
This whole new world, and it kind of kept Star Wars alive.
It did.
You know, so
Absolutely.
for that, I gotta tip my hat to that
Yeah.
crowd. I admire it, even though I don't understand.
We'll bring in our buddy Kevin Smets, the Old Republic filmmaker that he is. Yeah, I'm with you. It absolutely helped the love of Star Wars continue in a period of time where it wasn't on a large scale. It was, it's in that weird non-canon, canon adjacent kind of world, and I know there's been calls to pull it into canon or maybe do a version of it, which I do want. Actually, I've always said, like, if Dan and Dave were going to do the Old Republic's trilogy, like, I was on board for it. I always kind of said, like, let's just do it. Let's just bring it in and get this over with. But, like, over with in the sense of it's going to cause problems. It's going to ruffle feathers because it isn't exactly how the game was, or your gameplay experience is different than someone's interpretation of it years later. But it definitely is in that in this arena that we're talking about. Because even when I wasn't as up to date or following Star Wars when this first came out, you were aware of it, and it felt good to have Star Wars there.
Yeah, it was nice to know that the flame was still lit, even though I wasn't getting warmth from the flame. But I was like, at least it's still going. I like that.
I like it. All right, tip of the cap to our buddy Kevin Smith. Check out his Knights of the Old Republic fan films he has out there. They're great. All right, we have 4 more choices, 2 each here, Jen. So now it's getting down to the nitty gritty. I have a couple of options. Now it's a bit of a game where I want to make sure something's recognized, but I don't want to take something from you, but I'm just going to do it.
Oh, no. I just yelled. I'm sorry. Oh, no.
I'm going back to 1980 again.
Okay.
And this is crossover. This is promotion. This is all the above. It was also tremendously formative in my younger years, though I didn't fully understand it at the time. I'm going back to 1980, The Muppet Show, and Mark Hamill, Anthony Daniels, and Peter Mayhew appearing on The Muppet Show. Season 4, episode 16, just to check my numbers there. Mark Hamill shows up. Now he plays, this is why it counts for me. He plays himself. He's Mark Hamill on the show, but he also played Luke Skywalker, and then you got R2-D2 and Chewbacca there. So it's like a little Star Wars story. You got a Pigs in Space segment. You got him and Miss Piggy feeling some heat between each other. And as a youngster, I never missed an episode of The Muppet Show. That was a tradition in our house. My dad and I would sit down and watch The Muppet Show and then a little bit of the Mandrell Sisters. It was just a thing we did. The glorious era of variety shows.
Wow.
And I wasn't fully aware of what Star Wars was. I talked about this also on the action figure episode with Ken Plume, where Battlestar Galactica figures would show up in my Star Wars collection. I just didn't know the dividing lines. And so it was kind of like I knew Pigs in Space wasn't Star Wars, but Luke was on there. And so in my early memory forming brain, it all kind of flew. I think that might have been my first real exposure to Luke Skywalker that I kind of forgot about until the trailer came out. Because remember, the trailer of Return of the Jedi is where my journey with Star Wars truly begins. But it was just like, wait, that was the guy in the Muppets, right? So I credit Mark Hamill on the Muppets for laying some groundwork for my Star Wars love.
I never thought about that. You're right. What I love about Mark Hamill on the Muppets was that, you get a lot of times some actors that are not that they're too good for what made them famous. But they're like, I'm a serious actor, or I am a movie star, and I don't do those kinds of things, right? Mark Hamill really was not just only game, but he was kind of like the old movie stars of the past, like a
Mm-hmm.
Mickey Rooney or a Judy Garland, who can do it all. He was like singing and dancing and like
Yep.
playing himself and then coming and breaking through the door as, Luke Skywalker. It's just like he's doing impressions. He's all
Yeah.
over the place. And that to me is like, oh, he loves being a performer. It's, he is beyond just like this Hollywood type. Like he
Yeah.
loves acting. He loves
He
stretching his chops.
absolutely, absolutely. He a showman for sure, for a song and dance man, as they say, and I think he absolutely made it possible. And he also, I know there's so many other appearances of the characters. I think Sesame Street got some Star Wars love, everything, but it's that classic Muppet one that I absolutely wanted on the list there. But we're not done yet. Jadden, we're up to your number 3.
Well, this is where it might get a little predictable. So that's why I threw people off. I threw people off with the Knights of the Old Republic. This is my number 3. It is a show that ran from 1985 to 1986. Saturday mornings, adventures with Wicket and friends. That is the Ewoks cartoon. Not the droids,
Yes.
only the Ewoks. I'm only putting love on the Ewoks.
You're cutting the droids out. Got it. No droids. I'm writing a big no droids comic.
droids.
Okay. Or cartoon. Okay.
I don't know what it was. I think it's the animation of the Ewoks. They were done by Nelvana, the Canadian animation company that's now defunct. They're closing shop, I heard. But the thing I loved about the Ewoks cartoon, it introduced new characters like Princess Nisa, who is Chief Sherpa's daughter. She's very level-headed. They also introduced an Ewok named Latara, who's kind of like Blanche Devereaux from Golden Girls, but she's Ewok.
Yep.
They're villains. They had all these villains. But what I really liked too is that the Ewoks all worked together every week to defeat a weird villain. And that was really seeing how their friendship and their teamwork and their different personalities, they could find strengths in perhaps what they might have seen as a weakness of theirs. So it's really well done. It still holds up. For the most part.
I'm going to one day take a swing through it. I don't do any illicit drugs, but maybe that might be what starts my journey. That is watching Ewoks. Maybe just take a couple shots because I didn't really engage with it. I was watching G.I. Joe Robotech at the time, so it's like I don't know Ewok. It was a weird time for Star Wars fans. But there's so much there. There's stuff in droids too. I know we're not hating on droids.
No.
Do you feel, I think, with Forces of Destiny, you had some Ewok content there. How Leia got her dress, some other stuff. You got Luke coming back and everything. Do you think it's time for a little bit of a mini Ewoks cartoon reboot, Jen? Like, just firm it up a little bit more canon?
Yeah.
Redo it?
I mean, to me, it's a built-in hit. When they released those like little Ewok baby plushes, they had like a Chewbacca one. It was a tie-in to some show on Star Wars YouTube or whatever. Yeah. It was really popular with kids. Kids like Ewoks. So why not take advantage? I mean, they could literally take the storylines, most of the storylines from the cartoon, and just, zhuzh it up a bit, a little bit more, new animation or not. But I think it has some really great messages that my kids really enjoyed. And it's got that great classic format of like the Saturday morning cartoons, right? Where every week there's a new villain. Yeah. Well, how are they going to overcome it? 20 minutes maybe. Yeah.
That's all you need. It's enough time to finish your Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah.
Get your day started on a Saturday. I'm all for it. Ewoks reboot. But Ewoks, number 3, the animated series. All right, we're number 2. Okay. And I realized I'm just going to kind of stay in the same genre, but this is where I'm going to go. It's also a Saturday morning staple. It also was key to my development as a Star Wars fan. And that, of course, is sticking with the Muppets, but Star Wars on the Muppet Babies.
Oh, man, I love that.
Muppet Babies, making the dreams come true. Gosh. Love Muppet Babies. Big fan of Muppet Babies. Big fan of Star Wars. And when they crossed over, and Raiders of the Lost Ark too, they crossed over a lot. There was a lot of references. I was just kind of scrolling through this morning, and it's like almost too many to say this is the one episode. Yeah. But I just always remember I would sit down my Saturday morning routine, you get a bowl of, that was our one day of the week to have bad cereal, some sugar cereal. So maybe, my mom would give us the bowl of cereal, and then I'd sit down and watch Muppet Babies, and I'd be like hoping right before it began, oh, I hope it's a Star Wars one. I hope it's a Star Wars one. And this actually is one of the early bonding experiences as a Star Wars fan between me and my buddy Mark Ellis, friend of the show, where he's like, dude, those are like my favorite Star Wars things, probably at one point, even more than the movies with Muppet Babies. So that's it. The Muppets and Star Wars do kind of go together now, being kind of under the same roof. That's a different conversation. But just at the time, the Henson, the Lucas of it all, these creative geniuses putting these wonderful things out, and then you get things that come out of it, like the Muppet Babies. It just was perfectly timed for me. I was at the right age to fall in love with Star Wars even more through the Muppet Babies.
We were very, very lucky to have all these great shows. There was something about the Muppet Babies where it was like similar to the Ewoks. It's formulaic, but there's comfort in that, and there's, like you say, a little bit of excitement. Is this time, are they going to have a little Star Wars reference? Gosh, I forgot that there were Star Wars references, but it was such a cozy experience, and it's one of those things that I can't explain why, other than it just, it's like we were talking about, the ritual, grabbing your cereal and sitting down and watching your friends on TV have a good time.
Yeah, and I hated when the show ended, because that meant I had to start my chores.
Oh,
I had to go clean up all the dog poop in the yard. That was my number one chore, and then dust the house. That's what I had to do every Saturday morning, kids. We had such tough lives. But Muppet Babies was the gentle start to my morning, which I still do. I think I still realize I don't watch Muppet Babies much, but Jen, I just hit on something here. Every Saturday, I wake up, make myself a little breakfast. The rest of the week, maybe it's a quicker breakfast, everything. Make coffee, English muffin. If I have something special, I get it. Sometimes walk to 7-Eleven, get a bad little pastry or something. And I sit down and play video games for about an hour. And then I go, all right, now we have to start the day. I have to do my chores on a Saturday. It's the same thing. I have the same routine, Jen. I just realized this.
This is good. This is actually helping me. I am taking mental notes, have my kids clean up the dog poop and dust. This is great. Thank you. And as you see, it helps you later in life.
Yes, I apologize to your children, because just don't be like my mom, who would afterwards follow me around and then give me notes on the parts I had to redust, and you missed this spot. It was a thing. Which is why I don't do a lot of dusting in my house now, Jen. That's the only thing. The routine remains. The dusting does not.
Okay, I'll be easy going on the dusting.
Easy go.
Be happy if they do it.
Yeah. All right, that's my number 2, my final choice here. But we are up to your number 1 choice. I think I know what this is going to be. But Jen, what is your number 1 favorite non-canon Star Wars thing?
It should be, as no surprise to any ForceCenter listener, what my number 1 is. That's non-canon Star Wars, and that is the Star Wars Holiday Special. I'm sorry.
Yes.
It just is.
Yes.
It is for so many reasons. And the reason, I'll go down the list. So we get to see Chewbacca's family. We didn't know he had a wife, and we didn't know who his family was. Mala, Itchy, Lumpy. We didn't know what Life Day was. That now is canon. I forget who introduced it. Was it the Mandalorian that acknowledged Life Day?
Yeah, I've lost track of that over the years, but one of the things for sure. Yeah,
one of them. We got to see Kashyyyk, which with their little tree houses, and the fact that they just let the Wookiees talk in Shriwook. Yeah, they just talk, no subtitles, no nothing. We're just, as viewers, we're just like trying to figure out, based on their gestures and their grunts, what are they saying? I don't know.
Experimental art piece.
That's why I like it. Is that it really is experimental, and it's when George was just, I don't want to say necessarily having fun, but just trying things and seeing what sticks. And for me, this stuck. B. Arthur as Akmina, the cantina bartender, singing Diane Carroll with this adult fantasy sequence.
Crazy days, kids. It was crazy times.
And obviously Harvey Korman, Gormanda, but the biggest one, we got the animated Boba Fett short. And that,
Mhm.
my friends, is why. And Carrie Fisher singing. And Wookiees in
That's right.
Life Day robes in some
Yep.
strange sequence where they're holding glowing orbs. Like, what is that? It's wonderful, is what it is. It's wonderful and weird.
It's wonderful and weird indeed. Yes, and one of my great treats in my career was, hosting a panel, Wizard World Chicago with Carrie Fisher, and then her singing the Life Day song on stage from memory, just belting it out. It was great to witness. There's that legacy. The the Boba Fett animation sequence is why we have the Mandalorian. I'm convinced.
Oh,
I would love to actually have someone ask Jon Favreau directly. We know we got the pulse rifle, all those kind of things that might be in it. But if you watch that, and it's available on Disney Plus now, you see that this is a Mandalorian episode, especially season 1. Like this is exactly the structure, the form, the tone. Even John was clearly influenced by it, and I absolutely love that. That's part of the legacy.
Thank you. I think that it's starting to get a little more love, a little less hate. Throw it on in your holiday parties. Have some, eggnog and rum. You'll like it.
Absolutely. And, I know there's the doc out that came out recently. I still haven't had a chance to see it. I hear good things. But, one of your first Jedi beats back in 2016-ish range was the holiday special. We had our friend Bonnie Burton commenting on it, and then we repurposed that here with the video version of Jedi Beat. We'll drop those links. But yeah, you Jed have been there before a lot of other people got there.
I just like the weird. I like the weird. And I love Wookiees, as it turns out.
Yeah. What do you think George Lucas today, present day, as he prepares to open up the Museum of Narrative Art, what do you think he says about this kind of subtle, quiet, but very present resurgence of the holiday special? Famously, not his favorite thing in Star Wars.
Yeah.
What do you think he'd say to people like you going, George, I loved it?
I think he would acknowledge that he took a risk, and in his mind, maybe it didn't pay off or it didn't hold up, right? I think that he would be able to acknowledge that there's love for it, but in his mind, it was not what he wanted it to be, like the legacy. Yeah. That's why he kind of just has wanted to forget it. But I don't think that he would smash it with a sledgehammer, as the old rumor goes. I think that he'd be okay. He might find it funny that people like it.
See, Lucas Museum of Narrative Art, Christmas party, members only. I guess you can sign up to become a museum. You got John Bon Jovi singing Christmas in the Stars stuff with Anthony Daniels, and then you do a screening of the holiday special, and we all celebrate Life Day, and George just kind of sits there going, all right, the people have spoken.
I'll tell you what, Academy Museum, you guys could do a Life Day thing and show it on the screen there and have someone come and speak. That would be great, because I feel like the Lucas Museum, I feel like they're going to be a little not embracing it. So maybe the Academy Museum will embrace it.
Okay. I think I know someone over there. I'll check with my buddy Alex. I think so. Yeah. No, I think that's the one. Yeah, I think it's the one. Yeah. All right. Well, we've done it. We've done it, Jed. We figured this show out on the fly.
Yeah.
Our favorite non-canon Star Wars things. Number 10, Jabba's commercial, crying to Ray Charles. 9, the disco theme of Star Wars from Mecca, and Mecca's Christmas in the Stars. Number 7, Star Tours. Number 6, Star Wars Robot Chicken. 5, Knights of the Old Republic. 4, Mark Hamill on the Muppets. 3, Ewoks on Saturday mornings, the cartoon. 2, Muppet Babies in Star Wars. And number 1, the holiday special. I think that's a pretty good list. There's some things on the cutting room floor.
Yes.
I have Mark Hamill on The Simpsons a little bit later on. Star Wars Infinities, the Dark Horse comic series from 2002, 2004. I think a Star Wars What If done in a spectacular, intriguing fashion. Any others on your list?
Caravan of Courage was on my list as a possibility. Death Troopers, the novel, non-canon, but with zombies. Zombie Troopers was awesome. And then maybe even Shadows of the Empire, because that is a game that I loved playing.
Yeah. I thought about putting that, but I just wanted to put the Hoth sequence. So maybe that's a close run-up.
Exactly. That's exactly the only thing I was like, well, it's just for that sequence. That's about it.
I don't remember the rest of the game. At one point you fight IG-88. Great, cool. I want to go back to Hoth.
You do? Oh my gosh.
There you go. All right, that is our list, but we want to know yours. What are some of your weird Star Wars choices here? Non-canon Star Wars things, crossovers, promotions, weird references in shows. Let us know. That's what we're here for, to listen to your choices. You can follow us at ForceCenter Pod across social media platforms. Look for us on TikTok under ForceCenter Show if you want your clips over there. Instagram is where we put our reels, and you can follow us on Blue Sky as well. You can support us directly at patreon.com/ForceCenter. Merch available at TeePublic or Fourth Wall. Links down below if you're watching on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, hey, hype the video, like it, leave a comment. Have some fun hanging out with your friends here at Force Center. Follow me at Cadnapsog. Jen, they can follow you on, wherever you want to appear these days. I don't know.
On my computer doing homework. But you can find me on Instagram sometimes at Jennifer Landa or TikTok at Jennifer Landa 1138.
There it is. That's it. Star Wars has been ranked.